how's it going YouTube, and welcome to Game Day Feast. So today, it's baseball season. So I figure what we're going to try to do is create that perfect outdoor grilling experience that isn't your standard hamburger or hot dog. Instead, we're going to go with some awesome filet mignon steak skewers. So we're outside in New Jersey in my backyard right now. I've just fired up the grill, and we're going to take a look at the setup real quick to see how everything's going, and then we're going to get along to our cooking. So I have my charcoal chimney set up here, and we're going to make sure that we let it go for probably a good 20 minutes or so. Really, we want to see that the charcoal is no longer black and that it's starting to get that nice white crust on it. I have some charcoal going earlier just to kind of preheat the grill. It's not necessary, but it's something that I like to do. So what we're going to do is set up a series of direct and indirect heat. So to release the charcoal, we're going to take the chimney out a little bit, and it is hot, so we're going to grab a glove real quick and be right back. Alright, got a nice wet rag here. We're going to take that, we're going to lift the chimney out of the grill, and we're going to pull the trigger and drop the charcoal right into the grill itself. Just like that. Look at all those embers going. So we're going to take the chimney over here and just kind of set it down on a little grate that I have. Right. Make sure that we don't burn the deck. And we're going to take this grate and pop that right on into place. Sometimes easier said than done. So we're going to close the grill. Now the deal here is we got a thermometer on the grill. Right? You can see that the temperature is really low at the moment. We want to get that up a little bit, right? Since we're going to be grilling and not smoking, the best thing for us is probably going to be trying to get it up to a nice 350 or so. So we'll check on that in a second. So now that we have the grill set up and we have it heating up for the grilling, we need to take a look at our ingredients and what the chefs call mise en place, or everything in its place, right? I know, fancy term if we're talking about cooking for game day, but nonetheless it's good to know, what the professional cooks are talking about as well. I myself am not a professional cook in any shape, way, or form. I'm actually an English teacher. Usually I'd have my really good friend Colin here with me. He's a online writer, but we both just really love sports. Right? If you're following us on our social media, you know that we're both diehard Baltimore Ravens fans, right? For you Steelers fans out there, we respect you. We understand there's bad blood, but nonetheless, you're a fantastic sports team, right? So, when it comes to the sports in that, though, we want to have better food than the standard, I threw a hot dog on the grill and, threw it on the bun and put some mustard on it. Not that there's anything wrong with that, and believe me, we're going to talk about hot dogs and that in a later episode. But let's take a look at what we've got going on here with our steak and some of the veggies. We're going to make some awesome kebabs. Right, so here is our mise en place. We've got some nice filet mignon that we've actually seasoned, and we've had in the fridge for about, I would say, about an hour, with just some salt, some pepper, and a little bit of Cajun seasoning to give it a little bit of heat and something interesting, right? We've got some nice cut up onions and some red bell pepper, and then we've got some baby zucchini. What I really like about the baby zucchini is it's already about a kebab size without you having to cut it in half, so it still has that nice round form. We have a little bit extra of our seasoning that we had for the steak, which we're going to season the kebabs with before we throw them on the grill. And we have our bamboo skewers here that we've soaked in water for about an hour. If you don't soak them, they're going to end up burning on the grill, so we want to make sure they're nice and saturated so that we can really have the best kebab and still have the kebab experience without losing the kebab on the grill by it burning away, as well as really just having that charred, burnt flavor on everything that we're eating. Alright, so it's time for us to assemble some skewers. So we have our nice oak skewers, right? So what we're going to do is take a piece of the seasoned filet mignon. Why filet mignon? Right? It's really the most tender cut of meat that you're going to get. and it's going to maintain that tenderness even while you are cooking it on the grill and with the kebab. And it's going to cook nice and well through without becoming well done over the process that we're going to use here. And then we're going to alternate the veggies. So we got a little bit of onion, a little bit of red bell pepper, and then a piece of the zucchini. What we really want to try to do when we're making a kebab is make sure that everything is uniform in size, so that everything's going to cook about at the same rate, right? With the zucchini, I try to keep it a little bit more thick cut. If you cut it real thin, it just falls apart. It's going to fall off the skewer. Same thing with the onion. Try to leave some bigger slices. Really what I like to do is take the onion and I'll half it, and then I'll half it again, and then just get these nice big wedges, right? So what we're going to do is take a little bit of time, and again, we're just alternating, and I'm a little bit OCD, so I try to keep everything in the same order. And look at how wonderful this looks. It's like Christmas in August in this case, right? With the reds and the greens, but then made even better with this wonderful filet mignon. And really, we're going to end up getting about 3 rounds on here of the veggies, right? And then I like to top it off with a nice piece of steak, right? Because when you bite into that kebab for the first time, the first thing you want to taste is some steak, right? So what we'll end up doing then is putting these on the grill as we get them assembled, right? I like to try to get that cooking process started. So what I'll end up doing then is assembling the rest of these kebabs and then putting them in order. And I'll show you guys then when it's time to start checking, like when to flip and when to, get everything going properly. Alright, so we have the kebabs on the grill here, right? And we try to put them in the order that we're going to turn them. So the one that I use the earliest is here on the left, right? We made our way across. I didn't spread out the charcoal all that well, right? So we ended up putting one sideways here. So beforehand, what we would do is take a rag or a brush, and we end up oiling the grate here, right? So that we're able to take our kebabs and turn them. Every once in a while, a little piece might stick anyway, right? And really what we're going to do is cook these for 3 to 4 minutes on each side, right? Thinking that the steak has 4 sides. So the first 2 are probably about ready to flip. We're going to let the other sit here for a minute still, right? And we'll get through all the kebabs, and as we just keep turning them, right, we just want to take a look and see if they end up starting to get a little too well done. We can take them and we can move them onto what we call indirect heat, or the part of the grill here where we don't have active charcoal heat, right? So they're taking direct heat right now, but if we need to slow down that cooking process, or if one of them is getting along a little bit faster than the others, then we can certainly start that indirect heat so that we don't end up burning all of our food while other parts or other pieces of it continue to cook. So we're going to check back in just a second and take a look at the final product. All right, so we've got these off, right? They look beautiful on the plate. I like to take a little bit of the leftover seasoning that I seasoned the steak with earlier, give that a little sprinkle. I've let this rest for about 2 minutes. Let the juices distribute back into the meat. You don't want to cut it too early, right? So at this point, the only thing we have left to do is give it a try. You can taste the salt and the pepper, and there's that little bit of Cajun seasoning with that cayenne, and it really brings out the spiciness of the rub. We try to get in here. I don't know if you can see, but the zucchini just dripped down my chin. Right? Everything's juicy, but it still has its texture. It hasn't turned into, that mush that zucchini can if you cook it too long on the stovetop. Everything here is phenomenal. There's a little pink left in the meat. And this has been the first ever Game Day Feast. Make sure you guys root hard for your favorite team, and hopefully we'll be able to get back in the stadium soon. See you next time. Like the video if you thought it was great. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see our next ones. And we'll see you guys soon on Game Day Feast.